now. So I'm glad that you guys can hear me. Again, if you did not hear the topic today, we're talking about birthdays, how they hit different after a cancer diagnosis. And I talked about me having my crown because my birthday is this week. I will actually be 53 on Wednesday. And as some of you know, most of you know, I was diagnosed with breast cancer back in 2013 in December, found my own lump in November 1st as I was vacationing in Vegas, and made my appointment, went to the doctor, got my ground away, got my biopsy, and they said, hey, call me at home and say you are diagnosed with an aggressive form of cancer. So Mylea said, yes, also sending all the love and the birthday wishes to you. God is good, and it's a blessing to celebrate with you this year. Thank you, Mylea. I appreciate it. So I diagnosed in 2013, the whole entire 2014, I was in treatment, and I did chemo, 33 rounds of radiation, had surgery. I ended treatment the week before Thanksgiving in 2014. And then after that, I was on my road to what they will call recovery. So, and at that point, you still have to see the doctor once you're done with treatment 5 years after that. So you'll go to the doctor every 3 months, probably for the first couple of years. And then as you get deeper into your, they call remission, I say heal, then you will see the doctor maybe once a year. Once you hit that year 5, then they end up releasing you from the doctor, and then you go and see your general doctor after that. Until you have some type of issue as it relates to cancer, then they refer you back to your oncologist. So many of you, some of you know, and some of my family found out last night that I had a second diagnosis of cancer in 2018, which I didn't share with a lot of people for my own reasons. I'll probably be talking about it later, but I actually was diagnosed in 2018 with skin cancer. So I was diagnosed in 13, and then in breast cancer, and then 18, I was diagnosed with skin cancer. So I am a 2-time cancer survivor. So I believe I have a lot to celebrate, especially when it comes to birthdays. And my birthdays have hit different ever since I have diagnosed with cancer. I always celebrate my birthday. I celebrated before my cancer diagnosis. I always celebrate. And after my cancer diagnosis, I really have a reason to celebrate because I'm here. So I'm excited about being here. So number one is, a lot of times we're not intentional about celebrating our birthdays. We're like, oh, it's another day. Some of us don't even take time off to pamper ourselves, to go and just throw a dinner. You don't necessarily have to do a party because everybody celebrates different. So however you celebrate, you should celebrate yourself. You should acknowledge that day. Don't allow that day to go by without you celebrating yourself or allowing other people to celebrate you. So I have always been intentional about celebrating my birthdays. I normally give myself a birthday party, or lately I've been giving myself a birthday dinner every year, and I include intimate people who I love, hey Lisa, and who are, just near and dear to me that I want to celebrate with me. And they have always turned out so good. So I recently had a dinner last night, and everybody wasn't invited because, again, my dinners are intimate, mainly my kids, my siblings, my mom, just everybody who is near and dear to me, my best friend, who I want to celebrate with. And we have fun. We eat, we play games. They get to know me a little better. And we get to see how well they know me, right? Because you'd be surprised how many people think they know you and they don't. So we get to have fun. I collect gifts and we eat. And last night we did a new thing. We did a circle of prayer for me. So I was placed in the center of everybody that was a part of the party, and the party was kicked off. The prayer was kicked off by my pastor. So he prayed, and then everybody that was in the circle said a prayer for me, and then my pastor ended the prayer. So it was a powerful night. Pictures are coming soon. So I'm excited. So you should be intentional. Whether you have cancer diagnosis or not, you should be intentional about celebrating your birthdays, right? You only get one birthday a year. And that's one time a year when nobody can say anything to you about everything being all about you. So be intentional about celebrating your birthday, making people respect your time when it comes to your birthday. Even if you want to go and get your nails done, get a manicure, pedicure, get your hair done, whatever it is, a massage, whatever it is that you want to do, take yourself to breakfast, to kind of reflect on the year ahead and everything that has happened in the previous year. Whatever you want to do with that time, it should be used to celebrate. Don't just allow the day to go by without celebrating. Lisa says she celebrates every year. As you should, Lisa. You have a lot to celebrate too. You should celebrate every year. Number 2, you know why? Because you have so much to be grateful for. I can testify that I have so much to be grateful for. After my cancer diagnosis, I got to see my daughter graduate with her bachelor's degree from college. I got to see her graduate from high school as well. And then she graduated from college. And then my second daughter, I got to see her graduate from 8th grade. She's getting ready to graduate from high school next year. And then I have my third daughter, she graduated from 8th grade. Now she is a sophomore in high school. My son, I got to see him get married. I got to see my daughter get married. And now I have 3 grandchildren. So much came after that cancer diagnosis. I have so much to be grateful for and so much to celebrate for. So my birthdays, they hit different and I celebrate different. I wear my crown and I don't care what anybody else has to say about it, but I feel like on that day, I'm queen for the day. And I make sure that everybody knows it and they respect the crown. Lisa said, amen. Amen. So you should have a lot to be grateful for when it comes to your birthday. Again, it doesn't matter if you have a cancer diagnosis, any type of sickness, because it's your birthday. That's the day that you were born, the day that God gifted you to be here on this earth for a purpose. And whether you're walking in your purpose or not, that's on you. You should be celebrating. Number 3, because you were faced with your own mortality. With a cancer diagnosis, you look at and you think about death. You don't have a choice because of what we have known about cancer. We've seen death. That was the only thing that I saw that I knew. If I knew somebody had a cancer diagnosis, I was like, oh, they're about to die. Because that's all we saw. That's all we knew. That's really all what people highlighted, right? They highlighted that. Hey, cuz, hey, Dion. Yes. So that's all they highlighted, right? Is the death. They don't really highlight the wins. They don't highlight the survivors. They don't highlight what people did to survive. They don't highlight if they used the Western medicine, holistic medicine. They don't highlight those things, right? They always highlight the bad numbers. And so when people hear cancer, what they do, they get scared. And so this is why I celebrate survivors. I say I'm a warrior because when you go through cancer, you're going through a war. You have to prepare for that war. And the only way you're going to be a warrior is when you come out of that war. Because in the word warrior is war. So you fight that battle. When you lead the battle, oh, baby, you're a warrior. And you face your own mortality. You think like, I may not make it out of this. Because so many have not made it out of this. And in the midst of your fighting, you may have dark moments to where you feel like, I'm not going to make it out of this. And you pray and you ask God, I need you to help me to get through this. And you want to know, what's the meaning of all of this? Why am I going through this? Lord, what kind of glory are you trying to get out of me going through a cancer diagnosis, suffering with these toxins in my body? Like, what is this all about? Some people never know. Some people get it. I'm one of the people, I've got it. God allowed me to see why I was going through this journey. It wasn't for me. It was for somebody else so that I can share my testimony with someone else because of all the bad things that we do hear about cancer. It's to give hope. If not anything else, it's to give hope to someone else that they can make it. It's to educate someone else to take action with your health. Don't just sit on your health. So if I don't do anything else, you're going to know to take action. You're going to know that I'm a warrior. You're going to know that I push not just cancer awareness, but we push past awareness because we want you to take action. Whatever we tell you, whatever, when Dr. Michelle is on the show, whatever information that you get, we're expecting you to take action with it. And not just you, myself, because I can't tell you to do it and then I don't do it. When I have to go to the doctor for my annual, I get afraid. I don't want to go. My heart be racing. And my blood pressure get up when I get in there. The doctor be like, "You okay?" I'm okay. It's just you have to go through that, and you already know the fear that you had when you went in there and they told you that you had that cancer diagnosis. It's like, oh wow, I really don't want to go in here. I don't want to be left in the dark and not know what's going on with my own body. So facing death is something that you do. And at that point, you have to make sure that you have your priorities in order and that you talk to the right people in your life. So if something were to happen to you, they would know. And one thing that my daughters told me, because my 3 youngest, I did not tell that I didn't really share my cancer journey with my 3 youngest. My 2 oldest, they knew because they were old enough to process it. But my 3 little ones, they really wasn't. My youngest was 18 months. So they really wasn't old enough to comprehend what I was going through. But one thing that they said to me was, what if something had happened to you? What if you had died? Then they would have been upset because they didn't even know what was going on with me. So I encourage that you share the information with your children, share it in their own language. However, they will understand it at whatever age that they're at, but don't keep them in the dark about what's going on with your life, your sickness. They're gonna see you sick, right? I hid mine with a wig. When I shaved my head, they never saw my hair bald because I brought a wig that looked just like my hair. So they didn't know the difference. When I was at home, I kept a scarf on. And I remember one of my daughters was like, I would go in the room and I would take the wig off and put the scarf on. And she was like, "Ma, take the scarf off." And I was like, "No." She was like, "Why not? Take it off." And I was just like, "No." I didn't want her to know that I was bald under the wig. And I was like, why she asked me that? So, and we think they don't know. We think they don't see, they don't know, they don't feel, but they do. And they can tell when you're going through something. So you think you're hiding, but you're really not. Your kids feel it. So share that information with them, because if you're facing your own mortality, they need to know, hey, mommy is fighting for her life, and this disease that I'm going through, it has the potential to wipe me out. But guess what? Mommy is going to fight as much as she can so that don't happen. But this is what happens sometimes to people that go through this diagnosis. Doesn't mean it's going to happen to me, but I just want y'all to know what's going on with mommy. You get to create so many more memories because of this birthday hitting different, right? You're really intentional about the memories. I take so many pictures, and my family like, "Why you take so many pictures? You always taking pictures." Everywhere I go, I be like, "Let's get a picture. Let's get a selfie. Let's do this." Because I'm creating memories. You have to have some type of memories that you leave your people. Because one day we all gonna have to leave here. And my grandkids, my great grandkids, kids, you want to leave something for them, whether it's videos, whether it's pictures, whatever it is that you do that's part of your legacy. You want to be able to leave something for them that they could talk about, that they could share with their kids. So be intentional about creating memories, whether that be y'all going on a trip every year, whether that be you have a dinner with your family every year or every quarter, whatever it is that you can do to create lasting memories for your family, then you should be doing that. Birthdays hit different, but it allows you, when you get that cancer diagnosis, to take charge of your health. You should not get a cancer diagnosis and you living unhealthy. You had lung cancer, they said, "Oh, you got lung cancer," and you got it from smoking cigarettes. And as soon as you get out the hospital, you're going to get some cigarettes. No, that's not what you do. That's not what you do. You're supposed to put those cigarettes up. I mean, you got the lung cancer, like, oh, maybe it's too late. You never know, but you should not still be smoking. So at this point, you should be taking control of your health. Okay, so now I have the cancer diagnosis. What am I going to do now? How do I move forward with my health, knowing that I have this cancer diagnosis? Some people get genetic testing so that they can inform their families about if it's a hereditary link or not. That's one way to take control of your health. Get the genetic testing so that you can inform your family of what's going on. After your cancer treatment, go to the doctor, get an all over physical, get your numbers, start exercising, start eating, stop eating sugar, because sugar feeds cancer. If it's cancer cells in your body, guess what? That sugar is going to feed it. So try to do like natural sugars, like fruit. That's probably the best one. But everything that we eat breaks down into sugar. So in you eating the white refined sugar, is just adding more to it. It takes a while to break down in your body versus you eating like fruit. And we're all guilty of it because it's kind of hard. It's like sugar is like a drug. And when you try to stop eating it, try to stop eating sugar for like 30 days and see what happens. You're going to feel like you have withdrawal symptoms because it's like a drug. It's addictive. So you have to do it in baby steps. Try to remove stuff every week or once a month. Try to remove some type of sugar from you. If you're drinking coffee and you know you do 6 sugars, cut it down to 3. If you know you're drinking pops, you drink 3-4 pops a day, cut it down to 1. Or substitute it for a different type of drink that doesn't have a lot of sugar in it. Because sugar feeds cancer. It does. You get to focus on what's really important in your life. A lot of times we're busy, we're working, some of us working 2 jobs, we're in school, and we're doing so many things that we really don't focus on what's important, which is our family, right? Going to family events, spending time with family. For me, my mom is getting older. She's 78 years old. So like, these are the years that you want to go and spend as much time as you can, quality time with your parents as they age. You could still make memories with them. We invite my mom to everything that somebody is having, everything that we're doing. We're like, Mom, come on, let's go. And she'd be ready to go. She's getting ready to go to Paris in August. She's getting ready to go to Dallas in July. So this is a time for you to focus on what really matters in your life, who really matters in your life, and release everything that doesn't. Don't be afraid, be unapologetic about releasing people and things that does not feed your spirit in a positive way. This is about your health. This is longevity. This is about good quality of life. This is about you. So this is a time for you, a great time for you to reprioritize your life and start dropping off things. Make a list if you have to. Start dropping off things and people. Stop going places. Stop always saying yes. Learn to say no. And you don't have to explain and give an explanation. Just be like, no. Be like, girl, can you come to this event? It's all the way, it's an hour away from your house and I need you to bring some dishes. You just be like, no. And you don't even have to apologize for it. This is about you. It's about your health. It's about your peace. And peace is so priceless. Don't allow people to take that away from you. Tony King says, God bless you and thank you for sharing your experience. You're welcome, Tony. Thank you for listening. I appreciate it. I'm talking about how birthdays hit different after a cancer diagnosis. Some people look at it like, I got this second chance at life. God has given me more time. He's given me more time to do whatever it is that He has destined to do. So if you look at it in that way, that you have a second chance at life, then the decisions that you make and how you go about life, it should be different. You should not be operating on a people pleaser basis, right? You should be operating on, why am I here, the purpose that I'm here, and what can I do with the time that I have here? How can I make it count? If somebody gave you a second chance at something, normally when you get a second chance at something, you're like, okay, I'm gonna do good. I'm gonna do the same things that I did last time. I'm gonna make sure this count. I'm gonna make sure that I have all my ducks in a row. And you're gonna make sure that whatever it is that you do, that you're gonna come out on top. He's giving you more time. I feel like God has given me time after time. In 2011, I was diagnosed with blood clots. I had one in each lung, one in my left leg, which could have traveled up to my brain. It could have exploded. But God gave me a warning and He's like, oh, get to the hospital, go. And as soon as I got there, they was like, whoa, you got blood clots. Hurry up, and put me on blood thinners. I think I was on blood thinners for like a couple of months until the blood clots dissolved. The blood clots could have took me out. God gave me a second chance. He gave me more time. Then in 2013, the cancer diagnosis came. I was diagnosed at stage 2. I could have been diagnosed at stage 4. It could have been like, you don't have any more time. You had no options. But God gave me a second chance. He gave me more time. So what are you doing with your time that God has given you? Whether it's a second chance or not, what are you doing with your time? We waste a lot of time on things that are not even necessary, that it's not going to even count 10, 20 years from now. The one thing that I have learned to do is to embrace all of the people that I've met along this cancer journey that have came into my life. Some amazing people that I never thought that I would meet. I have had some amazing opportunities that have come my way because of the cancer diagnosis. Many of you know that I am an author. Never thought that that would happen. That wasn't really on my radar, especially for writing anything about my life or my story. But the first opportunity that I had to be in a book was for the You Are Unstoppable, Moving from Past to Purpose, where I shared a snippet of my journey back in 2019. And I was excited because I'm like, oh, wow, I'm a published author. And I think that wouldn't have happened without my cancer journey. Again, it wasn't really under my radar. And then I decided to do an anthology with 5 amazing women. When Warriors Talk, God Listens. We talked about an encounter with God and how it changed the trajectory of our lives when you go through things, right? When you have that encounter. I self-published that book, and then I self-published a book for a survivor, When Warriors Talk, Miracles Happen, the results of letting God lead. Excited. And then I published my own poetry book. I released it for my 50th birthday. It's called Visions of Happiness. It's a poetic recollection of transformation from pleasure and pain to my purpose. And these books, I'm telling you, they wouldn't happen without my cancer diagnosis. And my recent publish was Take Charge of Cancer. Empower that warrior within. You don't have to take a cancer diagnosis and go ball up in the fetal position and give up. You don't have to. Don't allow it. I've had speaking engagements. I created Warriors Talk. This show is a result of my cancer journey. My organization, my non-for-profit, my 501c3, it's because of my cancer diagnosis. It never would have been. Wednesday, I'm going with my daughters to the Cancer Treatment Center where I received my treatment, and I'm donating my Battle Buddy sacks to individuals who are in treatment. It's not about me. It's about other people. It's about giving hope. And my last one, number 10, God still has purpose for you. This is why your birthdays hit different. It's because He has purpose for you. God is not done with you. Whatever it is that He wants you to do, you still have work to do. So you need to find out what that work is, and you need to get busy on His work and not your own. And sometimes what you have planned for your life looks totally different than what He had planned. Like, I would have never had this plan for my life. Never under my radar. Absolutely. This is not something. I was happy in my own little world, but God had something different for you. And whatever that is, He's going to qualify you to do it. There's no way that I would have been able to talk to anybody about cancer or cancer diagnosis had I not went through the cancer diagnosis. I couldn't even tell you anything about it because I didn't go through it. But right now I could tell you about it because I went through it. I go to seminars. I go out of town. I was just in Washington in May with the National Breast Cancer Coalition. We went to Washington and we was lobbying for individuals with stage 4 cancer. I'm not just sitting on the sidelines. I'm in the ring, educating myself, getting information so that when I do my shows, I'm able to give out valuable information. I try to bring on valuable guests like Doc Michelle. We have Resolve Relationship Monday. We try to give you valuable information to help balance your life out, to help you make better choices with your life, with your relationships, with your health. So God has blessed me to do all those things as a result of my breast cancer journey. And I'm excited. I'm excited about it. I wasn't happy about being pushed into it, being chosen for it, but it's doing what he wants me to do and not what I want to do. And it's more effective and more rewarding to do what he purposed me to do. And so I'm excited about that. Hey, Red, you're running in kind of late, aren't you? Hey, Deonde. Thank you. Happy birthday. My birthday is Wednesday, you guys. Thank you. See, I got my crown on. It's celebrating my birthday. I've been celebrating all month. So I'm excited about that. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the show. I just wanted to talk about how birthdays hit different after you have a cancer diagnosis. You should be more intentional about your birthdays. Happy early birthday. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Be more intentional about your birthdays, about days, period, in your life. Stop allowing time to pass you by without creating legacy, without walking in your purpose. Do something for other people, not just yourself. I will leave you with these words of wisdom. Cancer survivors, like you, are real heroes. Not many people have the courage to look death in the eye and say, catch me if you can. Coming up next at 7 p.m. on Intellectual Radio is The People Show with Mark Wallace and Charles Thomas. So don't go anywhere. Stay here. Join me next Monday at 7 p.m., at 6 p.m. that is, on Intellectual Radio. As always, Warriors Talk is changing lives one warrior at a time.
Thank you for listening to this week's edition of Warriors Talk with Lady ReShell. To find out more about Warriors Talk, follow at Warriors Talk, the number 1, on all social media outlets, and Warriors Talk with Lady ReShell on YouTube. Please join us next week, every Monday evening at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on intellectualradio.com for Warriors Talk with Lady ReShell, where we encourage, educate, and empower you into action.